They gathered in Carabobo Park in Caracas to show support for the president. Julio Moros is a singer who is convinced Nicolas Maduro's plans for an assembly to reform the constitution will complete former leader Hugo Chávez's socialist dream.
There are lots of vices within the state that need to be changed. People like me want it, so finally the communities can be part of the decision-making of planning, supervising and investment on where the government spending goes. The new constitution will achieve that.
Thousands of candidates have already signed up for it. The over 500-member body will allegedly represent all sectors of Venezuelan society. But not everyone is convinced. Hundreds gathered to denounce the current administration's abuse of power and the killing of a 17-year-old student on Monday by security forces.
Protests like this one have been going on for weeks, with demonstrators marching to different parts of the city. They believe that the Constitutional Assembly is an excuse used by the government to hold on to power. They believe that the only way out of this crisis is to call for general elections.
Miguel Pizarro is a member of the National Assembly. He has been leading the protests in Caracas and believes the government's time is up.
The Constitutional Assembly can be described in two ways: Maduro forever and the final destruction of this country's institutions. We are not an armed insurrection. We are asking for a vote that is being denied. The only thing we have seen are murders, detentions, and harassments.
Venezuela's constitution was reformed in 1999 by former President Chávez, for whom Ricardo Convellas was an advisor. He says Maduro is doing everything wrong.
Chávez said that the people need to be consulted if they want a constitutional assembly. And then he said it has to be elected democratically and ratified with the people vote. It was an impeccable process, and even when he lost his attempts to reform the constitution again in 2007, he said, "We cannot change a point or a comma of the constitution without prior consultation."
After more than 2 months of violence on the streets, the government seized the Constitutional Assembly as a way of regaining some of its legitimacy. But it's done little to calm the anger and frustration of those struggling during one of the country's worst ever economic and political crises. Teresa, Al Jazeera, Caracas.